isn't a banana, it's a cream pie in disguise. Right, I'm going to make a proper cream pie with proper custard. None of this packet custard or instant banana pudding mix. So to make me a little drop of custard, I've got 600 ml of whole milk, 120 grams of sugar, 4 beaten egg yolks, 5 tablespoons of cornstarch, a teaspoon of vanilla flavouring and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm also going to need 250 grams of ready-made shortcrust pastry, or you can make your own, 284 ml of double cream or whipping cream or heavy cream, and 4 or 5 bananas. The riper the better. Unpack your shortcrust pastry. I'll just drop the pastry into a 9-inch pie dish. Line it up central. Now shortcrust pastry has this nasty habit of shrinking when you cook it. So I'm overlapping the pastry over the edge of the dish to allow for that. I'm just going to cover this with a little bit of cling film and I'm going to pop it back in the fridge for half an hour to chill and let the dough relax. Now my pastry's nicely chilled, I'll line it with some baking paper. Pour in some baking beans or some lentils, whatever you use for this purpose, because we're going to blind bake this crust before we put the filling in. Press them down, make sure it goes into all the corners. Now we'll bake this in the oven at 180 degrees C for 15 minutes. Okay, that's had 15 minutes. Now I'll take out the beans. Prick the base all over with a fork. Now we'll pop this back in the oven for another 5 to 10 minutes. Alright, my pie's looking good, it's nicely baked. I can now trim it to size. I prefer to do this while it's warm. Here we are. Well, the birdies are certainly going to be happy today. Here, birdie, 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 birdies. Now I'll leave this to cool completely. Meanwhile, slice your bananas. Then when your pie crust is cold, put a single layer of banana on the bottom. Right, I think I'm ready to make some custard. Put the milk, sugar, vanilla flavouring, salt and corn flour in a large pan. Turn on the heat and with whisking bring it to a simmer. As it comes to a simmer it'll start to thicken. This is when you really need to be stirring it most. Now I'll turn down the heat and just simmer it gently for 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, remove it from the heat. Pour a little bit of the milk into the eggs. Whisk to mix. Then pour the egg back into the milk and beat well. When it's all well mixed, pop it back on the stove and simmer for a further 2 minutes. Feel like making custard. Feel like making custard. After another 2 minutes, remove the custard from the heat and pour in enough custard to just cover the bananas. Spread it around. Then pop in another layer of banana. More custard, Captain. I find that doing it while the custard's hot means you haven't got custard standing around with a skin forming on it and starting to go lumpy. Now if you want to, and you're so inclined, you can probably fit a 3rd layer of banana in there, but I think I'm quite close to the rim here, so I'm just going to put the rest of the custard in. Right, I'm going to leave this to cool now before I do anything else with it, which presents me with the opportunity to finish the leftover custard. Can't beat fresh custard. Now when the pie is... What? Oh, thanks. Now when the pie is cool enough, you can pop it in the fridge. Now when your pie is well chilled, it's time to beat the cream. Add in a few tablespoons of icing sugar as well if you feel so inclined. cream is stiff enough that it holds its shape, you can use it to decorate the pie. I'm piping it on, but you could just as easily just spread it on. Well, I think my work here is done. I'm going to pop this in the fridge for a couple of hours now. Hands up, who'd like some banana cream pie? Banana cream pie is a really cool recipe because if you happen to just forget to put the bananas in, you've made vanilla cream pie. Fantastic. Join me next time in Titli's Busy Kitchen with me, Titli Nihan. Until next time, Khuda Hafiz.